What's up, delivery fam? Welcome to the DFAM Roundtable. Tonight, I have a guest that I know that many of you already know. You have watched this channel, watched many of his videos, and we're going to be discussing why are drivers so upset about non-tipping customers and how this could possibly affect the orders that they're seeing in their market. All right. Tonight's guest, we have Hannibal, and we're not talking about the cannibal. All right. What's up? What's up, Hannibal? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing great. I am excited, honored to talk to you again.
Oh.
Enjoyed our situation in the last video talking. So it's super awesome to be here.
Okay.
And you got people coming into the chat. So yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So what's up, everybody? What's up? I wanted to have Hannibal in this conversation with me, not anything against any other creator. I just feel like the way Hannibal delivers his content, man, I just felt like he was the perfect person to have this conversation with me, because I have a strong opinion, and sometimes I've been told is like, I could be a bit intimidating, bro. Like I'm like, how am I intimidating? How am I intimidating? I'm the guy that's always laughing and smiling on YouTube, right? So I'm like, how can I be intimidating, right? But anyway, long story short, I've been looking at the internet really quick. Everything on Facebook to Instagram to Twitter, even down to YouTube, how the different videos about how people feel about non-tipping customers. Now, don't get me wrong. I know majority of our job or our pay comes from the tip, right? So I understand why we would want customers to tip, right? But when it comes down to like professionalism, or it comes down to like just how it affects, how our decisions affect our market or order volume, I just really feel like, drivers don't really understand that part, because it's like sometimes that's one of the reasons why I've been trying to push taking emotions out of it, because I feel like a lot of drivers do certain things because it's like out of emotion. Like, oh, you don't want to tip me? Let me put my private parts in your salsa. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all out of emotion, and I really do feel like it can affect the order volume in the market that the driver is working, because without them even knowing it. Because it's like, yo, if a customer has a bad experience today on DoorDash, just hear me out, Hannibal. If a customer has a bad experience today, but they usually order every day, will they order tomorrow on DoorDash? Or will they say, you know what? I had a bad experience today. That person messed with my food. Let me order on Uber instead. If that person works DoorDash and DoorDash alone, then that's one less customer that had a bad experience. What you think, bro? Am I thinking too deep about this, man? Or just let me hear your thoughts.
Well, I think that a lot of the problems is how it's a complicated situation, especially with customers with tipping, right?
Mm-hmm.
The reason why a customer may not tip is a variety of reasons. I think the problem with drivers is we are assuming that you're extremely cheap, you're a bad person. Like we start labeling, throwing all these labels on people. Well, we may not know the whole story. And I believe that a lot of drivers probably should not be in this kind of work, because customers and customer service, you got to deal with a lot of the crap. I mean, this is the nature of the beast. I think a lot of people are not able to handle that. And it's, I'm making another video. I just saw another video about why someone decides not to tip. I think I did one the other day about a character on the show, Mr. Pink, why he decides not to tip.
All right.
Basically it was a movie, whatever.
Right.
But the idea is that some people may not want to tip because they don't want to feel that they have to supplement the living wage of an employee, when the company they work for, the business they work for, should be the primary reason, a primary way of the money should be given to the worker.
Right.
So there's a lot of different kinds of reasons why. It's cultural. It's obviously, if they have the money, it's a lot of factors that fall into it.
Mm-hmm.
And drivers kind of have to have that idea. It can't just be, well, you're a bad tipper. Let me react in a immature way.
Right. Well, I mean, I really do feel like, there's definitely more. I don't know if it's in every market. I've heard that LA, a lot of the customers, they tip very well, but I want to say there's so many more lowball offers versus unicorn or decent paying offers. It's like I get so many $2, $3, so many of them before I get a decent one that might be $12 or even like a double digit. Not even going to a double digit. Let's say let's say at minimum $6, right? I would see so many $2, $3, $4, $4.50. It's like what's that game show? I forgot the game show's name, but it's like they go up by 50 cents or however much. Oh, I think it's Double Jeopardy. Not 50, not 50 cents, but I like non-tipping customer for 100. I like non-tipping customer for 150 or 200, whatever. Like, I really do feel like, the mentality or the way that drivers are handling their business, it could affect their order volume in the long run. If a driver is out here doing the most, like one caller said on one of my past streams, if a driver's out here doing the most because of whatever the issue is with them in their current market, is like that could affect them negatively in the long run, but they don't know that because they're caught up in an emotional roller coaster at that moment. It might be something that's going on at home, or something that doesn't even have to do with the job, but they got they turn the app on and then they're not in the right space, but dealing with a bad customer or dealing with a non-tipping customer or getting a whole lot of lowball offers, it's just a recipe for disaster in my opinion. But drivers I really do feel like drivers should have their stuff together before they even hit the road, man. And a lot of them don't.
I agree. And just for looking at it in the driver's perspective, delivery drivers, we're taking so many slings and arrows. It's, like I remember talking about the idea of who you're more upset with, the customer or the company. Like you're dealing with low, the bad offers, no non-tipping customers. You're dealing with a company with the low base wage.
Yeah.
You're going to a restaurant where you may not be able to use the bathroom. In New York City, they had to make a law to get these restaurants to let drivers use the bathroom.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember I had to use the bathroom outside. Like I had to go, and you may not want to go drive all the way back home to use the bathroom. Like just certain things like that. So we're dealing with that. We're dealing with the weather. We're dealing with angry customers. We're on the road, bad drivers.
Yeah.
So it's so much. That's why it's important to really, like you said, kind of check before you go outside, like that, your mental health. Like, are you in the right state of mind? Because the bad tip that you got or the customer that gave you bad directions, you're going to turn that around on the next person you talk to.
Yeah.
Or if you go home and take that to your house. So, yeah, drivers are upset, and sometimes rightfully so. But it's how you channel that to something more productive.
Yeah. So for my last few videos, I've been talking about the no tip, no trip thing, and I'm like the wording, something about the wording that just it does not mesh well with me. Like it don't sit well. Like, what do you mean no tip, no trip? But sometimes there is no tip. I have a screenshot that someone shared with me, and many might say, "Oh, that's fake. That's fake." Listen, it ain't fake. Okay, there's a $63 payout with 0 tip. I don't know if it was a DoorDash drive order or whatever, but $63, bro. $63 with 0
That's a
tip.
unicorn. That's a unicorn for a different reason, like a opposite, like a bizarro unicorn. Like,
right?
Well, that's a good point. You put there. Personally, I don't care who's paying me.
Exactly.
Someone's gonna pay me.
Exactly.
Someone's gonna pay me. So I remember taking a $9 order, a $10 order at McDonald's, and I would finish it, and there's no tip, and I didn't get mad. I'm like, well, someone paid me.
Yeah.
So whoever, just pay me. Somebody.
Somebody.
Either the company or the customer, pay me, and as long as the payout is good, I'm taking it. So the idea of just the tip itself, we're just getting into like a more complicated, like the tipping system. Why in other countries there's no, not the tip, right? Why in Japan, if you try to tip someone that works like someone at a restaurant, they take it as an insult. Like it's a lot of complicated stuff, but at the end of the day, you should be about your money. Where the money coming from? It's it worth it?
Yeah.
And kind of move from that direction.
Yeah, and that's something I was thinking about too. Like, I hear so many say no tip, no trip, or they would comment and say no tip, no trip, but then, they would accept an order that is like say it's $12, but then there's no tip on it. The base pay. It could happen on Grubhub. It could happen on DoorDash because it shows that breakdown. But at the same time, it's like, just hearing the no tip, no trip. This is not a thing with me attacking no tip, no trip. It's just I understand why drivers don't want to accept non-tipping offers, right? But when it comes down to like certain things, like what the Uber Eats driver did in the recent Brad of the Day that I did, if you did not see it, it's basically. Did you get a chance to see it before I even explain?
I did, but I guess you can explain for everybody else who had it. But I checked that out, and but you go ahead first.
All right, so a $2 offer comes in on Uber, and then they accept it, and then they send a message to the customer saying, no tip, no food for you. Now, the bad thing about that is, hopefully the customer didn't see it. It was unprofessional, right? But hopefully the customer didn't see it because they ended up canceling that order. Maybe they got the notification, maybe they didn't, I don't know. But what some drivers, I don't believe that they know, is in-app messaging, even with DoorDash, in-app messaging can be seen by Uber. So if they have someone monitoring that information, that stuff, then they could see you initiated that. So why, if this is something that you're doing full-time or even part-time, if this is a source of income, why would you even put your job on the line or your means of making money on the line because you're in your feelings like that, man? It's like, I don't understand it. I've had many non-tipping customers, but then like you just said, I'm like, well, somebody paid me. At least somebody paid me. I don't care where the money come from. At least somebody paid me, bro. If it's $10, I don't care where it came from. Oh, $7 tip, $3 base pay. Okay, cool. And then on the flip side too, a lot of people say like they don't take lowball offers, right? Lowball offers, but when they send you a stacked offer, how do you know which one is a lowball? Now, I'm not condoning in the acceptance of lowball offers, but what I'm saying is it's going back to the same exact thing. Like, okay, if a lowball offer comes to my phone, $2, heck no. $3, heck no. But if I get a $16 offer from DoorDash, which is what happened tonight, and then I end up delivering, it was a $4 peak pay, and I ended up delivering a person that actually tipped me $1 and a $2.50 base pay, that's really a $3.50. You think I'm a trip, but the total order is $16 going 3 miles or 5 miles? I'm not tripping. I'm looking at who's paying me.
Right.
That's $16. I'm not going to unassign that order because it's the total. I don't know who paying who or whatever, but all I know is a $4 peak pay, and I'm taking my money because I need to get my money and I'm going about my business. But if a $2 comes in, I'm declining that in a heartbeat. What's your thoughts on that with stacked offers?
What really opened my mind to, I think I had that mindset before with the stack offers where I wanted to know which one was the good one and eliminated the bad one.
Mm-hmm.
But as in talking, listening to you when you're talking to a lot of the drivers, you're trying to get people to open their mind up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Instead of, like you said, that idea, no tip, no trip, not to be so rigid in the philosophy of how you're doing it. Like, you should kind of experiment and kind of understand it's about time too. It is about time. It's about the restaurant. It's about a lot of different factors instead of just looking at the number.
Right.
But the way they set up the apps, it's very, they set those apps up for purpose for you to kind of look at that money and just press accept or whatever. But I think that the the idea that you would take an offer, right? You look at that offer, like what that person did, that $2 offer, and type that. Shaming, first of all, shaming a person usually doesn't work, especially nowadays. Everyone's so
Right.
defensive.
Yeah.
So like if you're trying to educate someone and make an impact, that's not how you're going to do it.
Right.
Not at that time. You don't know that person. And maybe if you sat down and talked to that person, connect with that person,
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to do that because it's, it's all about ordering food. But I think what also helped me was a driver utility app. And I know that's
Oh, yeah.
I'm not promoting. Well, you can promote it, obviously. That's your thing. And Milton, I think he's in the room too. Shout out to him. Where you put your parameters of my goals, and then if I want to make $15, for a trip or whatever, or twice the mileage, or whatever, I will get offers that I would not normally accept on my own. But
Right.
they break everything down, how much money I'm going to make per mile and per minute. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. And then a lot of it is stacked offers.
Yeah.
They may not be tipped, but either DoorDash had to bump them up because no one was taking them. And if the mileage is fine and the restaurant is decent, where I know the order's probably been sitting there for a minute,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it. So that's what helps, especially with the driver utility helper, where you're getting some offers that, the tips aren't great, but the mile is good and the time is good. The food's probably sitting there. So I'm gonna take those and not worry about the tip.
Right.
Again, that tip is emotional construct of not as a construct, but it's like that landmine that a lot of drivers kind of fall into and obsess about for many reasons. But I think that's the breaking point, I think, in terms of the tipping situation.
Well, I do know, coming from a tipping family, right? I do know it's, someone does any, like you go to a restaurant and if they do a poor job, it reflects in the tip. If they do an awesome job, it reflects in the tip as well. But the bottom line is there's still a tip. So whatever it is, whatever the minimum might be, would be based on, whatever the minimum or max would be is based on their performance and their, I guess their social skills as well. Like I've had some really dry waitresses and waiters. Like I'm talking about, what do you want? like, oh dang, I don't even know you, bro. You having a good day? That's not on the menu. It's like you would see these types of things on TV. Like, you go to a diner or you watch a movie and there's like a really upset waitress or waiter and they're like, oh, whatever, we don't have that. And then they just giving like a whole lot of attitude. I've experienced that before, and I wasn't a previous customer, and it reflected in the tip. Did I leave them what I would normally leave a person that does an awesome job? No, but I understand the whole tipping thing, right? I feel like I compare it to gas money, right? If you want to ride, right? You ask me, hey yo, UDM man, I don't have my car in the shop, bro. Can you take me to so and so? If I ain't going that way, I'm gonna be like, all right, you got gas money? All right. And what's typical gas money? It ain't $1, $2. The typical is like $5. $5 minimum for gas money. So it's like, with that said, it's like if I'm doing you a favor, I understand the tipping situation. Like the way I look at it is, if I'm doing you a favor, you should give me something like gas money. Give me some gas money to get this thing out the store for you with Instacart, right? Do the shopping for you. Give me some gas money. Maybe with the shopping thing, maybe I want more than gas money. I might want a full tank. You know what I'm saying? But shoot, man. Listen, if I'm just going to pick up your food, man, give me some gas money, man. $5. $5 minimum, right? I get it, the whole tipping thing. But what I don't get is just the emotional factor behind, the reasons why a driver would go ahead and jeopardize their livelihood. This thing right here, a lot of drivers is going full time because working at a W-2 to them is not even worth it anymore because of the endless work or the amount of hours that they gotta work or the amount of work that they put on that person for the same pay. I don't know if you knew this, but I was like a security guard, a behavior guy, and a campus monitor for the same pay. And it was $700 every 2 weeks. You get what I'm saying? Now, those are 3 different positions, but I was controlling, or they gave me all 3 for the same pay. So I understand why people wouldn't want to just jump back into a W-2 or, but at the end of the day, it's just the mindset. I just feel like, like you said earlier, I want people to open up their minds, man, because if you are treating your customers, and I say your customers because you're delivering to them, if you are treating your customers in the zone that you love working poorly, eventually, over time, that can affect how you're making your money. Because if customers are getting bad experiences, a lot more are going to go get their own food. A lot more are going to go to a different platform that you're not working. It's just a bad experience. Over time, it can have a bad effect, a worse effect on the order volume in the market. And that's why I wanted to have this roundtable, because I have a lot to say on this, and I know there's gonna be some people that's be like, "Oh, UDM, I got somebody calling me a shill right now, bro." I don't even know if they in the chat or not, but I got somebody calling me a shill. They calling me all kind of stuff because I didn't want to give them the catering app that I work for my money. I don't want to oversaturate the app.
You've seen this before. I mean, a lot of the situations with all these apps is how nice those referral bonuses. And you guys, you've been doing YouTube for a minute. I've seen like the biggest YouTube videos with the most views is pumping out that referral code, and everyone just kept doing it. And then eventually you're like, oh, there's no orders. So now you're thinking, all right, you know what? I'd rather get the orders. I don't need a referral. I don't need that referral money. Let me make sure that this app maintains a healthy state in my market. So I understood that. I think a lot of people are just desperate. And going back to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Going back real quick. A lot of drivers lack social skills. They don't I think a lot of societies lack social skills. It takes a while to learn how to communicate with people. That's why I think the best drivers are the ones who have customer service skills, hospitality skills before they even start. Either they worked in the store, they work with strangers, they work with people who are upset, people who are happy. Like, so it don't take that kind of reaction of one bad moment where you're going to just jeopardize your platform, whatever app you're using. So I think the social skills is a problem, and taking pride of your work.
Yeah,
that's a very important thing. I think a lot of drivers don't take pride of this. Like you say, I'm a delivery driver, and you don't take it as an insult. You don't take it as a bad thing. And I think a lot of people internally are like, I wish I was doing something else. I wish I was doing something that was more meaningful. And I think they react that way when certain things don't go that way. Because if you take pride of what you do, even if it was a minimum wage job, or you're a janitor, you take pride of cleaning that floor, taking it. No one can mess with you. No one can touch you, or in terms of make you feel like you're beneath them. And I think that's the problem too. When you get low offers, I don't know if it's just like the way the tip is the value of the driver. If they let that happen, let that in their mind, thinking, why am I getting all these low offers? Is that something with me? Is something was going on? You know what I mean? And it can put you in a bad funk. So I don't know. That's my opinion. Like, I think a lot of drivers don't take pride of what they're doing. I really don't think so.
And just to kind of like, I guess, give a little bit of understanding, I understand to some level that, a lot of drivers might be desperate, right? I don't know what their situation is, and they're just trying to find the money, right? I tell them all the time, go get your money. And now here I am on video telling other drivers like, hey, get a catering app. And they might be searching for the catering app, but they can't find a catering app. The thing is, for I want to say about 2 years now, I've been trying to prepare drivers, at least have a backup to your backup to your backup, all the way from A all the way to Z. Have a backup to your backup to your backup. Now, granted, I know that there's not a lot of drivers that some of them might be new to the channel, so I might have to repeat myself a little bit, right? But having a backup, or even considering certain things like getting into a different field, or like a different career, or just doing something additional, starting a business. Not everyone knows how to start a business, but if you are seeing the money, if you see patterns in your market, right, that the money is becoming, the amount that you used to make, you have to work longer and longer and longer. If you're not paying attention to it, then you're not doing a good enough job, in my opinion, running your business, because you're supposed to be studying the market all the time. If you got to work an additional hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and the money is getting lower and lower and lower, it's like you need to start looking into other things. You need to start looking into, you don't have to go back and get a W-2, but at the same time, you need to start preparing for some changes that might affect your pockets negatively, So I'm like, since I've been pushing it so much, I understand that drivers, might be desperate, especially in slower markets or even smaller markets, right? But this is the reason why I also said with the catering app, I wanted people to go ahead and do some research. Do research, because there's other things out there that drivers can make money from. But a lot of them seem to be so comfortable with food delivery when there's so many other options on the outside of food delivery that you can make even more money. There's a laundry washer, like washing app. I'm even considering doing laundry. But then I know it comes with, I don't know if they soiled their drawers. I don't know if they, threw up and they just threw it in a bag. Throw it in a bag, right? I don't know. I know that's what's going to come with it. But each bag of laundry might cost $39, but they are paying the washer $32 of the $39. So if I really want to get into that, I can get into that expecting what I might expect, somebody took a dump on themselves or whatever, and then I got to deliver that bag. Now, the plus side to that is it's not just one bag. Some people have a whole big family. I might have to pick up 2-3 bags. So instead of 32 times 1, I'm getting 32 times 3. So I've been trying to push this whole thing about getting a backup, because I did not want drivers to get to that point of desperation. Because when you get to that point of desperation, bro, you might as well take anything because you're trying to eat. You know what I'm saying? And if you at that point, you allowed yourself to get that low, then you wasn't making good decisions before you got to that point. Like if you got a credit card and if you max it out, it's not good for your credit. Right? Why? Okay, I'm going to swipe this time. That's what you keep saying, right? I'm going to swipe. I'm going to pay it off. Yeah, I'm going to swipe. I'm going to send them the minimum pay for the month, right? Okay, I'm going to swipe. But next thing you know, you maxed out. And now you got a whole credit line. Your score done went down. And your credit card maxed out. You can't use it no more. And when you try to pay it off, what happened? You use a couple bucks on it. You pay it down a couple hundred, and then next thing you know, I got another situation. I got to swipe again, and then it go right back up. It's different situations like that I try to prepare drivers for, and the desperation point. I know I'm long-winded. I said it in the video, but I just want to make my point. Okay, so I'm just like, I've been trying to help drivers prepare for the worst years now. And I know, again, some of them might be new to the channel, but I did not want drivers to get to this point of desperation, to the point where I have to now feed you. I don't want to have to feed you. I want you to feed yourself. I'm giving you information, little keywords, search terms, and different things to find things that might be in your market. Because what's in New York, like you got that bathroom law up there. I don't have that down here. What's in New York might not be in Florida. What's in Florida might not be in New York. But you might have something different and might pay better. Like I think you guys have that Black-owned delivery app in New York. What's that Black-owned? I forgot. They deliver.
I remember seeing an article, but I don't remember.
Yeah,
it's a loss. Yeah, I know you're talking about that.
That's not in Florida. I wanted to see what that app was like, but they're not in Florida. They're only in like a few cities and whatnot. So I'm like, man, do some research, man. I'm not gonna keep feeding y'all. I want y'all to get up and look into other things, man. Come on now. That's why I like, even if they're desperate. What's his name? E.T. Eric Thomas. the motivational speaker. He was homeless. This man got a PhD now. If he didn't get up and go, he wouldn't have that PhD. He did that. And that's where I'm coming from. Go ahead. I hadn't talked long enough.
It's cool. I think that you are interested in helping people who are going to help themselves, not get everything. And I think that's a lot of issues. I remember even Gig Life kind of talking about that. It's like you kind of just want you guys want to be spoon fed everything and not spend the time to even do something as simple as a Google search, which is the most easiest thing you can do.
Yeah.
People want it right now. It's that instant gratification situation that I'm trying to teach my son. He's 7 all the time. Like, you could just kind of deal with the suck right now, whatever you got to deal with that's annoying, that homework. I know you rather kill and run around and not do the homework. If you do the homework now, you get to play longer, do whatever the hell you want. And I'll give him that choice. I'm like, you want to do this homework now or go to sleep early? You know, something and he'll like, all right, I'll do the homework. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta, what's that saying? Eat your frog? Like, the most important thing is get out of the way.
Wait, I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that.
In Coney Island, they have frog legs, man. You never tried? You never had frog legs?
Nah, never had frog legs, man. Listen, no. And I saw a video. The person had a frog, and the legs were like this. They poured hot water on it, and then the frog legs just opened up like this, man. I was like, oh no, no, it don't look right to me, man.
But you know, the industry is changing very quickly. I mean, this kind of just started. Like, it's not like it's been, you know, decades of this. It kind of started at 2008, where the recession kind of hit, and companies are trying to find a way to still, you know, make a lot of money, and not have to pay and, you know, have an employee. So that's when the gig economy kind of came together with Uber and everything. Yeah. But we talk a lot of crap about Uber. We talk a lot of crap about DoorDash. But there are opportunities like Uber Eats. If you just do a few deliveries, you can go to ASU. It's tuition free. You can. Expand it. No, I don't see any videos talking about that. I don't see anyone saying, "Oh, I go to ASU and doing Uber Eats and trying to become, you know, try to get my skills up." Yeah. I do the Uber Eats, and I didn't want to go back to school, to be honest. But I gave it. But the one of the options, you can give it to your loved one or a partner. So my wife goes to school on that account. You know, like she does. She's still going to ASU even though she has a W-2. DoorDash has a Merit America where you can go and learn how to code. Yeah. You have, I think it's free for now, but then once you get a job that's, I think, 50,000 and above, then you on a payment plan, you can pay it back. Like, there's opportunities throughout everywhere. There's tons of opportunity. It's if you're just narrowly focusing on the food delivery apps because it's so easy. Yeah, it's so seamless. Like, when you're having a great day, is amazing. You feel like you're on top of the world. You know, and unfortunately, those days for certain people in certain markets are getting low. Those days are numbered. They're not as it's not as big as it used to be. So I think that's the problem. And also, even trying different apps. Yeah, we all are complacent, comfortable. But I know a lot of people who do the food delivery apps and don't want to do those shopping apps. Yeah, so I don't want to do Instagram.
Right, bro.
I don't like to.
Is money really the issue if they not trying to go to another type of app?
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Like even simple stuff like Instacart. Some people are like, nah, I don't want to pick up food. I don't like shopping for myself. Yeah. Well, what happens if you're in the market? You never know. You don't even know. You could have downloaded that app and be looking at crazy great payouts. So a point that you will go shop. Yeah. But you don't even know because you don't want to do that. So I think that's a big problem in our community and with a lot of the drivers and stuff like that. Big problem.
Well, I guess I'm not trying to change drivers and the way that they think, really. It's just me trying to guide them down a new path. I'm not trying to get them off course. I'm just trying to say, hey, listen, it's almost the same thing as, the Instacart strike, right? I'm like, they want us to hear them, but they don't want to hear us. It's not that we love the fact that Instacart is doing what they're doing. It's just the way that you're choosing to fight. It's not gonna work for us. It's like, in order for us to help you, you got to try something different, because we've seen time and time again that does not work, So it's like, it's the same thing, man. I'm not trying to change a person's mind about a certain thing. I'm just trying to say, like, listen, your way isn't the only way. I'm seeing, like, a lot of comments when it comes down to YouTubers, like, oh, you feel like you know everything. Oh, you feel like, oh, your way is the only way. Some creators, that might be the truth. But then other creators that are really genuinely trying to help, it's like, we're not in every market. We don't know, but we're putting out information to try to help. And it's good to digest the information that you receive. At least that's how I see it, man. It's just the same thing with any industry. If the person on screen is putting out information, does not mean that I'm going to take all the information that they put out. I'm going to take little bits and pieces here and there and see how it works for me. And if it doesn't work for me, hey, no harm, no foul, But I'm just trying to guide. I'm trying to guide and help people see things just a little bit differently. It's just the same thing as the no tip, no trip. Why are you gonna tell me you're pushing no tip, no trip? Okay, the $2, I got you. But when you have a $63 payout that has 0 tip on it, bro, you telling me you're gonna turn that down because it's no tip, no trip? Like, come on.
Some rules can be bent a little bit. Like, there should be some exceptions to the rule. Like, I would take a $9 no tip to McDonald's if like I said, if I'm walking and that order is there, I'm not waiting. I'm gonna take it and go maybe 2-3 miles. I'm gonna take. I don't care. I want my money.
I want my money.
I want the money. I think that's the biggest problem.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to the idea of trying to, I kind of put this idea of being an activist,
Mm-hmm.
or just maybe just being like an just being a business person, just trying to get your money.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes those things definitely don't intersect. Like, to be an activist, say I'm going to work on trying to gather people to strike Instacart. That person is looking at it from a different mindset. They're not looking at it necessarily to get the most money, because if you get the most money, you just either it works or it doesn't, you move on.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people want to have change. So I wanted to challenge you, the idea there may be some people who just want to make things right, or at least try to make things right. And one of the easiest ways, not the easiest, the most, I guess, the famous way of doing it is striking, or work stoppages. And if that doesn't happen, right? Like, we just say, hey, we're just going to continue on. Is that a good idea? When we all kind of know that they're doing things to cut costs as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
People taking triple batches.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why shouldn't even be an idea for a triple batch? Like, you're gathering hundreds of items. And like, if someone doesn't say, hey, this is wrong, let's figure out how to stop it. And we say the only option that we have is striking. I mean, when you think about that, like at that idea of what else can we do? Now, personally, I think me or you, we probably just look at the app, look at the payouts and say, well, I'm not doing it. And then that's our own strike. We just don't use the app. But there's people who have more of an activist mindset of, okay, we gotta make them change what they're doing. Like, what do you say about that idea?
Well, I've seen companies or people that wanted to take that approach, not necessarily within the gig space, right? I've seen people try to go at a big company that maybe millions or even billions of dollars, and then those companies prolong everything, and the court fees and attorney fees go up on a person so much that it's like the person just gives up, because it's like they cannot afford the constant back and forth. So a lot of these companies, they have the money to push this type of I don't want to say longevity. I can't find my words right now, but it's like they extend the amount of time that it should be, because they know the person's pockets isn't heavy enough, right? So they would probably just give up the fight after a while. So it's like, what I'm getting at is, I feel the best way to have any of these companies do what you want them to do is buy. And pay is the issue. Pay is always the issue. We talk about how the customers treat us, how the restaurants treat us all the time, but pay is the issue. So it's like, in order for the pay to be bumped up, we got to manipulate the system. How do we manipulate the system? We know that the longer the order sits, the more they're going to pay out. So if a person is that's coming from that activist point of view, thinking that, we're going to force them to do what we want them to do by doing this on this particular day. It's like that's their agenda. That's their way of thinking. But when you have a person that is doing this, like, I don't know anyone that has hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank. They could just stop doing this at any given moment. They don't have to go to anyone's job. I don't know anyone that could just stop doing this and say, hey, I don't need to do this anymore. So if a person is taking a day off or a week off, whoever is organizing any kind of strike should compensate that person. If there's donations and all that, that person that's participating in a strike should compensate that driver or whoever for participating. I feel like a driver that's taking time away from their job, their livelihood, should get some kind of money or some kind of something from it. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So in order for a strike to be effective, there needs to be a prolonged amount of time. Like, you can't tell me you're going to strike for one day. Okay. What's that going to do? We kind of went down the road of striking, but hey, might as well just keep going, right? Okay. So a strike for one day, what is that going to do? But a strike for a week, a strike for a month, that's a whole different animal. Now you're talking about millions, hundreds of millions of dollars probably gone down the drain. These companies I think they I haven't looked at the numbers, but $6 million a day in transactions, that's not far-fetched with these companies. It's like, you don't think they're making that kind of money per day? Yeah, they're making that kind of money per day. It's a nationwide thing. So if they're making that kind of money per day, one day, we lost $6 million. I can see them in their little meeting right now. All right, we lost $6 million. How much did we make this week? We made $500 million. $6 million. $6 million is like pennies. We made $500 million. $500 million. What? Okay. All right. That's it. I feel like, for a strike to be effective, if you're coming from the activist point of view, you have to put some time and effort into preparation, not just saying, it's just gonna be one day and we're gonna promote it on these Facebook groups, or we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And these companies have social media managers, social media people online just watching to see what shoppers and drivers are doing and what they're saying, I know somebody that posted a picture of the order that they received because I guess it got canceled or something, and then Grubhub deactivated them because of that picture. How did you know? How did they know that you posted a picture on your social media? How did they link you with the account that you're using? They have your name.
They got ours everywhere too. Yeah, I
that's
do
just my point of view.
That point.
Yeah,
and I think someone in chat, John McCannion, had a really good message that declining bad offers is a form of protesting. It is a form of saying, "Hey, this is not worth my time." I think a lot of us, I think a lot of people do understand it, but for some reason they look at these companies and they see, like, all right, DoorDash, they're expanding to Europe. They're trying to go into Japan. It's like, expanding, but my app is not working, and you give me $2. Like, damn, wouldn't it be nice? Again, it's not realistic. It would be nice if they took that funds, some of that capital, and tried to reinvest it in the drivers to have a little bit better offers. But that don't seem like that's going to happen, because they're in, DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, they're in a competitive industry where they got to grow. And growing ain't paying more people more money is not growing. It's let's expand different markets, get different partnerships with different kinds of merchants. And that's the game. And I think a lot, like, people want to change that game, but it's such a gigantic thing. It's like, as Pedro says, where you should put your energy. And some of the activist people, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna put that energy in that, and then hopefully that works out. Or you kind of figure out this is the game. Let me play the game, like you will always say about DoorDash being a casino. All right, it's a casino. You got cards to bet. You have a hand be dealt. How you handle it?
Yeah.
What cards you gonna play?
Yeah.
Are you gonna crap out and say, "Hey, yeah, I'm good for today. I'll try it again later," or are you gonna figure out other ways to play the hand you've been dealt?
Yeah.
So it's two different mindsets, I think.
Okay. All right. I wanna read just I want to read a few comments in the chat. All right, and I guess both of us can give our opinions or responses to the comment. Okay.
Sure.
All right. Joe Gig says, "What is being anti-strike going to do?" You said we are too divided for strikes to work. I agree, but there is an awful lot of complaining about strikes. What's your response to that?
I think, and this could just be my thought. I think a lot of the creators, especially the ones who've been here long enough, they you guys kind of been through the ups and downs before 2020 even occurred. Like you guys probably had a slow time in 2019. You've seen bad off a big thing. It's kind of like it goes. I think I asked Gig Life. I said, the slow period of 2020 was that the worst you've seen, or is it the same as you saw in 2019? He was like, oh, the same. So you kind of prepare where you don't, you save some money, you put some money aside, you prepare yourself. So I think a lot of it is a lot of W-2 employees are coming into the gig industry, and they looking at the gig game and like, this is nice, but I should be making this kind of money all the time. What's going on? Oh, they're making too much money. Let's figure it out. Let's do something about it. Like why, Amazon, like anyone I've heard talk that work for Amazon hates it. They try striking, they try unionizing, and it's just not working, right? So I understand the idea, but I figure like a lot of you guys that have been here and done it a while, you kind of been through the strikes. You kind of, like you said, you've seen this already. This movie has been played before, and nothing changed. And all you guys are saying is put your energy in other things.
Yeah.
Not saying what they're doing is right. It was only one person, we all know, that said everything DoorDash was doing was great. I'll mention his name. Everyone else is, this is bad, but what else can we do with our time and energy, time that we have on this earth? What else can we do? And the people who decide to do striking, I'm not necessarily going to say, well, don't do it. I think no one said, some people say, my opinion, you should not do it. Go do something else. But if people want to, everyone has the individual decision because we're all independent contractors. Right. If you want to do something local, I think local is probably the best way of getting some kind of change, like what happened in New York. The reason why that happened because with those delivery drivers, there was a dude in a hurricane with, like 3 feet of the biker, and then people saw that and it was like, what's going on here? Why these apps were still on, knowing that it was like torrential rainfall? Like people died in Northeast, which is weird. We don't get that kind of rain till people die.
Right.
But people have died. So it's like it was a viral moment. Then once it's viral, people start talking about it. Then, lawmakers, they want to try to make it seem like they're problem solvers. Then all of a sudden the things that was complained about for weeks and months from these people, hey, we're not, they're telling us to go too far for orders. We don't see the payouts. We don't, the bathroom. We don't let people use the bathroom. The restaurants that we're picking up food and helping them make money. Then all of a sudden, those type of things happen.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people do not like more government regulation, but I unfortunately, I think that's probably what's going to happen. There's going to be some more regulation. I think there was something even recently in California. I don't have the article on me with me right now about trying to make sure that there is no hidden tips.
Yeah.
Got to make that into a law. So this is a very chaotic and fluid industry we're in. It's still new, and it's still got to figure out what's going to work. How things are right now. I'm sure it's not going to be the same in 5 years.
Okay, and I'm going to read the comment that Joe Gig left, so I could respond to it as well. Okay, just to make sure. All right. All right. What is being anti-strike going to do? You said we are too divided for strikes to work. I agree, but there's an awful lot of complaining about strikes. Okay, so I've been, like I've said it in many videos, I've been doing this for 4+ years, and I've seen strike upon strike upon strike. And what's the definition of insanity? I want people to make better decisions. It's just the same thing as, why would you go out here and take every offer? Decline. You have the right to. You have the right to hit decline. Then there was a fight amongst drivers at one point. Well, you can't go below a certain number because that's going to be in the deactivation range. Who said that? Who made that up? Mm-hmm. It's like, the thing is that I'm pushing is independence, right? So when it comes down to striking, if you notice what I said, and every time I spoke about strikes, I said, I'm not against the fight. I'm all for the fight. But how we fighting, though? The way you fight Muhammad Ali ain't the way you fight Joe Frazier. The way you fight Mike Tyson ain't the way you fight. Give me another boxer, Hannibal.
We got the boxes right now. There's a fight that's coming out later tonight. Tyson Fury versus DeAndre Wilder, and two different kinds of fighters. You know what I mean? And you can't do one thing. You know, like you can't. And this is the third fight too, so I'm very excited to see what happens. But the way you fight in the first fight, especially with DeAndre Wilder trying to win, he can't do the same thing he did last time. I mean, like it's a different. Everything is different. It's complicated. It's a nuance. I think that's what you're trying to say. Like we can't just be cut and dry with no tip, no trip. I'm not taking anything on this. Like, look at everything in a vacuum a little bit. Like I said, unless you see that $2, see that $2.25. It don't matter no matter how much thoughts you can put in that. You're like, that's not gas money, so I'm not going to take it. You know what I mean? Like, we're just saying, open your mind up. I think that's what I think a lot what you're saying.
Yeah, it is, and it's like, you know, can you imagine, right? Can you imagine, like, say, Mayweather, right? Mayweather is a great boxer, right? Fighting Muhammad Ali. He's shorter and he's smaller. Okay, it's different weight class, right? But if you're telling me, and I'm using Mayweather because we know how to fight, right? Let's say drivers are Mayweather, right? But Muhammad Ali, the bigger, he got speed as well, and finesse, and he know how to dance around that ring, right? And Muhammad Ali in his prime, right? Muhammad Ali in his prime is like these companies, but Mayweather is like us, right? We know how to fight, but if we go against Muhammad Ali one year and he whoop our tail, and then we come the next year, he whoop our tail, 3 years, 4 years, he whooping our tail, what are we going to do? You know what I'm saying? We got to take that L. That's not how we going to fight. We might have to fight somebody in a lower weight class, you know? We can't fight Muhammad Ali. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. It's like, I know I use boxing, the boxing analogy, but that's where I'm coming from. It's like, you have the same type of fight, strike after strike after strike, same type of fight almost every year, and it's the same results. Drivers, they open up the floodgates or whatever, and drivers are falling off the platform, or drivers are not seeing as many orders anymore, you know? And it's just the same cycle over and over, to the point that we are now going back to the topic, Hannibal.
Yes.
There's so much, like before, oversaturation 3 years ago was in like 3 markets. Oh, it's oversaturated, man. What you talking about? It's oversaturated. It ain't oversaturated, man. I'm getting good offers, man. My order volume is high. I'm good. And now I'm hearing oversaturation in damn near every market. I'm going to ask the chat right now. Has it been slow for you in your market? In your market right now? Some people will say, no, I'm good. But look at the numbers when they start answering. A lot of people will say, it's been slow, it's been slow, it's been slow, it's been slow. Is it the time of the year that it's been slow? How come I'm still able to make $30-something in an hour? I mean, that's an hour, that's not a whole day. But what I'm saying is, it's like my market got a lot of drivers, but something's going wrong with the order volume. And I'm just saying, don't cancel out the behaviors of drivers to the customers on when the order volume goes down. I could see myself as a customer having a bad experience and not wanting to order on that platform for a while. And I will use this as an example. I paid $17 for an $8.50 burrito to get delivered. I'm like, that's a bad experience to me. I'm like, I could have walked down to the damn store by myself. I was doing it for an experiment, but I'm like, $17. I'm going to go get my food myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not paying $17 for a Chipotle burrito. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
even
that's where I'm coming from.
Even just very simple stuff about customers and the choices they make. They may not complain about it. They may have had that experience. You hear nothing about it. You're not gonna go to social media. Just will go somewhere else. Just even simple stuff like Domino's Pizza or Papa John's, where you'll call and like maybe you may not be that keen on which one's your favorite, but one time you call Domino's and it takes damn near an hour and a half, 2 hours to get your food. You're like, this took too long. You're gonna call Papa John's. You're gonna try to see the competitor. Who else can do it? And if it's a little faster, even maybe the quality may not be all that great in terms of the pizza. It doesn't really matter. It's some people want it done, the way they want it to get done. And when someone has a bad experience, especially, a woman ordering, and you got someone either being weird or aggressive or odd, they're not going to touch that app anymore. It's like, this is every time and maybe just one bad experience. But one bad experience for a customer can make a big deal. And also the drivers having a bad experience being a driver, it's important to not let that just dictate the rest of your day. It's kind of like, going to sports analogy, but when a quarterback throws an interception, they got to forget about it the next play. They got to like, all right, that happened. Don't dwell on it. Don't dwell on why it went wrong, why the wide receiver didn't do the route you wanted, or why your protection wasn't as great. You could dwell on it, and dwelling on it is not going to help the next move that you have to make. So I think that's another issue that we're having. And I don't know how many strikes you probably experienced. You know what I mean? Like, I've been doing this probably since 2020, like July. So I'm sure if you've seen this. I think Chad even told me about this. How many you've seen? Like, how many you can count? Top of your head, like,
Bro, I'm talking about Uber strikes, DoorDash strikes, Instacart strikes. Okay, I'm not just talking about one platform. Okay, I'm talking about strike after strike after strike. Okay, listen, I've seen so many strikes in 1 year. It's like ridiculous, bro. I lost count since I've been doing this, bro. And I've only been doing this 4+ years. Some drivers been doing it. Well, Middleton said in last night's stream, he's been doing this, I think, almost 7 years, full time. Bro, strike after strike after strike after strike, protest after protest, bro. I've seen so many of them, and just they just rotating. It's like they multi-apping in strikes. So that's where I'm at, and I'm seeing the same approach. I even had someone that was well connected with. I'm gonna leave the organization's name out of it, but they were well connected. They were even part of what they were doing. That organization, and it was for gig workers, and they ended up leaving because, just to kind of put things in a nutshell for you. All right, this is the part that really got to me. All right, and for whoever that's listening, just hear me out on this part. You might have your opinion about striking. It works. It needs to happen. I got you. But here's the thing, that part when I brought up about drivers need to receive something for participating in the strike, right? This particular organization, according to my sources, they receive donations to fund this strike and different things like that. They raised so much money, but then after the strike, what happened to the money? Where everything went? What's going on? It got the person so fed up and so upset, they ended up leaving the organization. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
So when money is the issue, we're fighting for money, and then you're not doing anything with the money we're donating, and you raise so much money to fund or do whatever you need to do, and we're not getting anything from that. I have a problem with that part. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I said I'm all for the fight. But when you have drivers out here that are desperate, taking $2 offers, waiting 20 minutes, that's only going 1 mile. $2. If you have a driver that's out here that's looking for a catering app and cussing me out because I'm not giving them a name. Desperation, I get it. But at the same time, why are we doing this? So anyway, we kind of going left and talking about this strike thing, man. But the attitude, the way, the mentality of no tip, no trip. I understand you don't want to accept a non-tipping order, but it's unprofessional. I feel like if you're going to reach out to a customer and cuss them out, or just say something very direct like, you didn't tip me, so you're not getting your food, or whatever it might be. Any direct interaction, confrontation with the customer can possibly, and I'm saying possibly, affect your market volume, because you don't know, especially if you're working one app, you don't know how that's affecting how often that customer orders and how little they order now, because of you being in your feelings, emotionally reacting because of whatever the reason is. If you take an offer, that is now your responsibility. It's no one else's responsibility. If I say I took $15, look at my alcohol delivery. I took $3,000 worth of alcohol, and I was paid $41. I owned up to it. I didn't give the customer a hard time. I unloaded all that stuff, my bad suspension, everything. I was in the red. I owned up to it. I made a bad decision. I said never again. I'm never going to take 15 mediums. Okay? That's going to mess up my suspension. Yeah. And that's my decision. I'm not doing that again because I made a bad decision. So when you accept an order and there's no tip on it, you should look at it at face value. Like, if that's the money that you're getting, that's all you should be getting. But don't take it out on the customer, because they're the ones placing the order. If you got the I don't want to use I don't want to say cojones, right? If you feel like you should go ahead and say whatever you want to the customer because they didn't tip, or treat them a certain type of way because they didn't tip, I think I said trip, but if they didn't tip, you possibly are affecting your market volume. You don't want to have less orders. More drivers are signing up. Why would you want to have less orders? That's why I'm pushing, get the emotions out of it, family.
Yeah.
Get the emotions out of it. Look at the order. If it's worth it to you, $10 going 2 miles, don't worry about who paying you. It's your money. $10? Okay. The customer only tipped you $1. That's it. Take the money. Let's go. Yeah. Move on to the next. Ain't holding on to it. I've been tipped
$1. You know what I mean? Cash. Like, I've delivered food, and the dude came out with $1, and I said, "Thank you, appreciate it." Then like, oh, what is this? And because that money isn't my value of me. I don't look at it that way. I value myself highly. It doesn't matter. All right, you gave me $1. Does that mean that I'm only worth $1? You gave me $1. All right, man. Yeah, you should have been giving me a little bit more money, but it don't affect me to a point where I'm so mad about that no tip or that low tip that I'm going to take it to the next thing. So I think people are just choosing stressful situations. Don't put yourself in situations that order you picked up has no tip. Then why? Don't take it. Just go move on to the next thing. I think, I don't know. I feel like some people are looking for a fight. Like you said, if someone's looking to do something to kind of push out whatever stress or tension that you have, and they're going about it by logging into the app and then look at this order, and then I'm gonna say something to this customer.
Yeah.
And then, all right, they do that. How do you feel? How do you feel after? Do you feel good? How long do you feel good for?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I think it's just something that we should not be able to even thinking that it's okay. Because I've seen the show that you was talking about when the person took the Uber Eats order and then they said, no trip, and then declined it. And I know a few, and even the comments was like, yeah, that was kind of funny, or yeah, it was a good idea. Like, no, not a good idea at all. It's like you, and then you do that, and then a couple hours later, you trying to go back in the app and you can't get in the app.
Yeah.
It deactivated you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's like going back, kind of circling back. I think a lot of it is just stress,
Yeah.
desperation,
Mhm.
rightfully so for a lot of these situations, but you can't let them win. I think that's it. Don't let the low tips break you down. Don't let the companies break you down.
Yeah.
Figure out a way to move on.
Yeah. And just I feel like the best way to move on is to I'm not gonna say to live the gig app life, like just have a bunch of apps like I do in my back pocket. Whenever I'm ready to try something new, I could just turn on a new app, I don't feel like that's the best way to get through this, but I do feel like, sometimes, we do have to make that decision, that tough decision. Well, this ain't working no more. I got to go find something else to do. And I know a lot of people don't want to go back to the W-2, but I'm going to also say don't completely rule out the W-2 life. If you don't want to be the full independent or even business owner type of person, if you don't want to do that, you really have to look at your future. If you want to be the business owner, then you're going to find ways to make the money you need to make. You're going to do things that's probably outside of the gig work as well. You're going to do different things to make money, bring money in, whatever,
Yeah.
I sold my car. I didn't just give it up. I sold my car, yes, it's to my cousin, but at the same time, I sold my car. I didn't just give him. He's my cousin. He's my blood. We close. I'm like, man, I ain't giving you this car for free.
You give him a little discount, or you like this is the sticker price.
Well, my car was worth, according to Kelly Blue Book, my car, even with the paint job being messed up and all that, they were saying my car on the street was worth $2,000. So I gave him a 50% off deal, man. Like, listen, you my cousin, bro. You my cousin, and we close. I'm gonna get it to you for $1,000. give me my money though. Hey, listen, I want my money, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't play. Nah, no, I ain't. Nope, I ain't signing no title. I ain't doing no bill of sale. Nope. Give me my money. Dang, cuz that's how it is. But yeah, when money is the issue. When money is the issue.
And and I think lately I've been seeing a lot of people talking about W-2 though. Like a lot of them, I think people who've been it, like you said, are able and comfortable.
Yeah.
Comfortable using many apps and navigating that life, which is that's great, right? But some people, most people who've came from the craziness of last year, they may not be interested in that, and that is perfectly okay. The way this thing is designed, a lot of these apps, the way it looks like to me is, I don't know if they even want people doing this full time.
Yeah.
They kind of want you to do something else, but then come here when it's busy.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're gonna make more money. No, give us more money. I think it's a skill that many people can jump in and do, especially like Uber Eats. You sign up, you're in a few days later. You have to find that way, and I'm gonna keep harping about this, that you need to have skills, valuable skills that people are willing to pay good money for. And this is cool for now, but you have to go in that direction of valuable skill. There's a lot, like I just saw the thing about truckers. I know back in the day, truckers used to make bank. They used to make 6 figures. And I think a lot of that kind of went down, but a lot more, like I see a lot of bonuses for truckers. And I know a lot of you guys like being in your cars for 10, 12 hours. Like, y'all strong. Like in 5 hours, I'm like, okay, I'm tired. But geez, truckers, they're getting like ridiculous bonuses, 5,000. This is just because our supply chains are all messed up. Things are not coming to certain markets on that's why sometimes you're calling a restaurant and you want something on the menu, they don't have it. Truckers are supposed to be moving this stuff. and there's lack of truckers, a lack of Uber drivers, lack of Lyft drivers. Like, you know, there's a possibility to get in that direction, but open up your mind. Open up your mind.
You know, I wanna read something. IGK has been pushing this for a few streams now, because I did not understand what they said in the first stream. They mentioned this, but they said, you understand what I was saying the other day. If you don't tip on the DoorDash app and instead tip in cash, DoorDash has to raise offer since there's no tip in app. All right, Dasher gets more money from cash tip and higher DoorDash offer. See, here's the problem with that. From my perspective, the problem with that is this. A lot more lowball offers that are not going to be accepted. Can you imagine no customer is tipping in the app? Hannibal. $250 base pay. Going 10 miles, bro. Oh, it's going to a lucrative area. Bro, when I was doing Uber Eats and I could see the drop off and they weren't showing the pay like they do now, the upfront tip and all that included, bro, I was basing my decisions. I have ride-alongs showing this. I was basing my decisions off where the drop off is. And a lot of people were like, that's why I don't do Uber, man. I need my money now. Okay. But that idea is like the same thing Uber back in the day. If a customer is not tipping in the app, how many more lowball offers are you willing to accept? That's what I want to know.
when I first did Uber Eats, I was at the point where I didn't see the full payout, and all my decisions were based on the restaurant. I mean, obviously the payout, but it was about the restaurant. Like, all right, I'm not going to take any fast food ever.
Yeah.
Because I'm just assuming they're not going to tip. So when I saw those little offers, they were fine with me because I didn't know any better. That was just my first jump into doing the food delivery apps.
Yeah.
I really focus on the restaurant. Like, is this a restaurant that sounds like a restaurant that would tip?
Yeah.
Or they are accustomed to tipping? So it's more thought process with it. But yeah, I think we're moving to a cashless kind of society anyway.
Yeah.
The idea that you're going to anticipate cash. A lot of people are doing contactless deliveries. A lot of people don't even see that damn driver. They just want to get my food, put it on the door, and get out of here.
Yeah.
So the cash thing, I understand that idea, but yeah, it's definitely something they're not going to do, and they're not going to increase the offers because, like, again, DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, they want the customers to tip. I don't know if they act like they don't. So they don't have to raise the base wage. They're like, we wish some of these people would tip, but they don't have to. It's an option. It's optional, and we're thinking like we should make it guaranteed or whatever. But that's not how it works when you go into a restaurant. You only are owed how much you pay for the meal. Tipping, yes, it's encouraged. Yes, you should do it, but it's an option. You don't have to do it. And a lot of people have some really strong opinions on why they do not tip, and it's not because they don't have the money.
Yeah.
A lot of it, again, is going back to why
Mr. Pink. Mr. Pink, I watched your video, bro.
Yeah, why am I contributing to a system that allows this restaurant to pay this server nothing and only survive on tips? Why do we have this kind of system in the first place? Now, that's another whole activism, try to fight the power thing. I don't know how long that would ever take because that's just ingrained in our society.
Yeah.
But we can go deeper and deeper if we want. But right now, when you got to pay that cable bill next month, you know what I mean? Like, you got time to worry about, well, you know, what's going to happen in terms of tips, or try to find a way to make the money.
Yeah. So IGK is responding and says, nah, they will increase the offers. Yes, but how long will it take to get a decent offer? You know what I'm saying? Like, if no one is tipping in the app, how long will it take to see a decent offer for decent mileage? It's probably going to take a longer, your days are probably going to be a lot longer because the lowball offers of the non-tippers are going to be there. So it's like, you know, I understand the idea, but I just feel like it's just going to increase a lot more offers that drivers won't accept and more drivers getting frustrated, unless that's the end goal. Frustrated drivers to the point where they're dropping off the platform like flies, you know, and is, you know, only left with like the ones that had the most will You know?
Yo, sometimes I'm my conspiracy brain. I be thinking like, yo, are they just messing with us so people can quit? All right, I'm just gonna stick around a little longer. I'm gonna just wait out a little longer because even like Postmates. Have you tried Postmates before? Like how like after you start to see what from other apps showing you something, you look at Postmates like, what is this?
Yeah.
How and people used to do that all like Postmates all the time, and it's like, wait a minute, I don't see anything.
Yeah.
Go here, pick up what? No. What? Why? What's the money?
Yeah.
Like we need more information, and they don't want to get this to give us more information. They want us to just
Yeah.
take every order. So yeah, I understand. I understand
Yeah.
the tipping. Again, we all just looking to get more money.
Yeah.
That's all we're trying to do.
Money is the issue. Money is the major issue. But I really start wrapping this up a bit. I really do feel like drivers, it does not begin with us, but it ends with us. And whatever that experience is for the customer, when ending with us, can cause an issue. Now, I've heard restaurants complain about DoorDash support, restaurant support. I've heard customers complain about support as well. Now, but here's the thing that they can give. They give like credit. They give full refunds. It might take a couple of days. People don't want to hear that, but they're given something. But when it's coming from the driver, all they see is, I just gave you my tip, my money. You ain't giving me nothing. Even if we did do them a favor of doing them a service of dropping their food off, picking it up and dropping it off to them, they're looking at it like, if I didn't place this order for you, you wouldn't be paid. I've seen so many arguments of, well, you need to talk to the company that you work for. We don't work for the company, but they don't understand that. They only look at it one way. So if we're treating these customers a certain type of way, we need to check ourselves. If someone does not tip you, you don't have to open up your mouth. You don't have to say anything. Just own up to your mistake of accepting that order and keep it pushing. But the minute that you open up your mouth and you get disrespectful or confrontational, then it's a problem. Now, I will be honest and I will say, I have gotten a bit confrontational with one customer, but that situation it wasn't because of the amount that they paid me for that order. And that customer did lower the tip, right? It's not about that. It was about me wanting proof of identification, and they got rude with me. Right. Then I ended up having to show them my other side. That was a whole different situation, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And nothing regarding pay. But when you go out here, you really have to look at this. Many of you might look at this like, oh, it ain't affecting me. It's just, that's a company. It is, especially if you do this full time. If you do this part-time and side money, it's affecting you as well. So you really got to look at how you're acting when you're out there as well. Don't just do some stuff that could affect your money or the order volume in your market. You don't want to affect that money that could possibly move on to another platform if you're a single apper. Don't do that to yourself. And that's where I'm going to leave it. What you got, Hannibal?
I think right now is wait, what's that term when you're like there's three guys, they all have guns. It always happens in the movies and they all pointing at each other. I just feel like it's like the customers and the merchant and the drivers, like we all are trying to fight for more resources, right?
Yeah.
And the company just laughing at everyone collecting the money, laughing away to the bank. But we're all we're jostling for position. We're complaining about each other, right? Like, I think a customer can complain about the restaurant, complain about the driver, you know what I mean? Like all that's happening. And it's how do you position yourself where you're maximizing your time and your energy on making the most money possible, and you're not kind of dwelling on the fight.
Yeah.
But again, if you want to go and do that, like, try to fight the power.
Yeah.
go after it. I don't know. The only way I see things working is government regulations, and that's a whole nother conversation we have. But I think that's where you gotta look at your position and where you are and where you want to be, and you can't live and die with the apps. I think that's what you can't
Yeah.
live and die with the apps because they're not. Who knows what's going to happen in a few months from now, a few years from now, and it's okay to be upset too. I think another thing too, it's okay that you have a bet. Oh, Mexican standoff. Thank you, Dash Theory. Mexican standoff, where everyone's just pointing guns at each other and like, you messed up, and we're all fighting. But like that idea, like, it's okay to be upset a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
just brush it off. And look at the mark and be as logical and be self-aware to realize, hey, this is not working.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's not anyone necessarily fault. It's the market.
Yeah.
The market dictates everything.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, listen, I appreciate you for being a guest on my second DFAM Roundtable discussion. I know the first one was with Bentley Coop, but that was years ago.
Yeah, that was a minute ago.
It was years ago, and I kind of I buried it, man. I buried the DFAM Roundtable, but a good friend of mine that watches the channel said, hey, man, I really enjoyed that back and forth between you and that other creator. What happened to that? You should bring that back, man. That was really good, bro. And I was like, all right, well, I'll think about it. But, coming from the Rona, a lot of things came through my mind, bro. And I'm like, I got to bring back the DFAM Roundtable and have a real discussion, have my opinions, and we just talking, It's almost like the Gigi Khan brothers, but it was just always me and DoorDash Dad. But I'm like, nah, I want to have discussions with different people. So the DFAM Roundtable, even when it comes down to, having not just you, Hannibal, but having even like a regular subscriber, if they want to join in and be a part of that roundtable discussion, why not? I'm all for that as well, because everybody got their opinions. Not everyone likes to be on camera, but everyone got their opinions. And I know some will disagree with many of what I have said tonight, but I still stand strong in my opinion. That's my opinion, and you stand strong in yours, and so on and so forth. But I definitely thank you, bro, for being on
revitalize. You kind of brought it back to life.
Brought it back to life. The
DFAM
Roundtable.
Anytime you need me, man. I had a fun time. I love talking to you, man. I appreciate your support. I appreciate what you're saying, man, because we all have different perspectives. Just keep talking, man. Yeah. I know you're gonna keep talking.
I am gonna keep talking because you know why? Because I'm long-winded. Anyway, all right, bro. Thank you so much, bro. And I'm just gonna do a quick little outro, talk to the family real quick, and I don't know if you got anything else you want to say to the family before you really make your way out.
Check out my channel if you haven't.
Yes.
Check it out. Appreciate all the support. I'm always doing live streams as well. I talk a lot as well. Mostly commentary about the gig economy, stuff like that. And I also try to bring some other topics. So check out my channel if you're interested in all that. And thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right, Hannibal. Yes. All right. So you be safe, bro, and go ahead and get some rest, man.
Gotcha. Thank you, man.
All right. Deuces.
All right.
All right. Okay, family. So at this point, Bud Soda, you asked, would you consider bringing on a member or non-content creator? Yes, I would consider that as well. I don't know if you guys recall, but before I got sick, I posted on the community tab, would you like to be a guest on the show? And I had a few people reach out to me. I would not mind bringing on people from different markets, different experiences to come and have a roundtable discussion with me or another creator, or it could be at max. I want to have like 4 people on the screen at max. I have the option to have more people. I think I have up to 6 people I could have on the screen, but to me, it's just a lot of talking over each other. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'll wait. Damn, I missed my chance. I don't want to have too much talking over each other. At max 4 people, but I do not mind bringing on additional people, that subscribers, content creators, whoever. just to have a DFAM Roundtable discussion. And it's going to probably be something that, we would have strong opinions about the topic. It would have to be something like, say, strikes. There's this side and then there's that side, and it's almost the same thing as, using the apps. Oh, I love Uber Eats. Oh, I hate Uber Eats. I love DoorDash. I hate DoorDash. I love Grubhub. I hate Grubhub. So it would have to be someone that would actually be challenging me or whoever else that would be a part of that conversation. So if you're a person that you know how to stand your ground, you're not just swayed by whoever else's opinion or persuaded in any way. Listen, if you can stand your ground and have a real discussion about any of the topics that we would bring up, even if you have your own topic you want to talk about, if it's something that I feel like will be worth it for listeners to tune into, I would be like, yeah, let's make that the topic. You stand your ground, I stand mine, and we discuss. But in the end, just like Hannibal and we had this conversation, I want to have a conversation. I don't want you calling me no shill or a company man or whatever names that go around in the gig economy, YouTube space, Oh, he a shill. Why am I a shill? I laugh at people, man. I think it gets on people's nerves when I laugh at them. I'm laughing at myself right now. It's like, dude, I got too much to live for, and that's not a problem for me. Even the dislikes, I don't care. So, I would love to have this conversation with anyone that wants to have it, but I want someone that will challenge me. I don't want someone that is just going to, I know tonight it was more of like Hannibal and we had a discussion about this, and it's like he had his opinion, but if you look at the way that he looked at things, he stood in his space. Like, this is how I look at it. And he wasn't really persuaded or he didn't steer too much into my path or into my lane, He stood his ground, and that's the type of discussions I want to have. Everyone stand their ground in their opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I want. I want to be challenged. If I say something wrong, I want Hannibal to challenge me. Or I'm going to challenge him. Well, I don't agree. And if you're not that person, don't waste my time. Okay? Don't be like, UDM, man. Yeah, get me on, bro. Get me on. Get me on. All right. Here you go. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, man. Yeah. You got to stand your ground, okay? Stand your ground in your opinion. Whatever you're strongly opinionated about, all right? So, let's see here. Middleton Technology says, challenge accepted. How many hours you want to do? I just want to have a conversation. Tonight's conversation lasted about an hour and a half, but that's where I'm at. I want to have these conversations, and these conversations need to be had, especially this one about how drivers are treating customers. It's unprofessional. It's unprofessional. It might be funny to some, but to me, it's not funny. And that's just it. And I understand the frustration that was behind that act with the Uber Eats driver, but I wouldn't do that. And many of you wouldn't either, unless that was you. But Soda says, Pedro be like, challenge me. Let me know if I'm wrong. I share that mentality. Marion Fami says, UDM and Hannibal, I feel are gig brothers. To be honest with you, everyone I share this space with, I call a brother. And say YouTube, the YouTube gig space, when I speak to them, hey, what's up, brother? And I mean that, There's even someone that I'm considering bringing on, and it's going to be a surprise to many of you. So much that I feel like I need to make it a surprise versus telling y'all who that person is. And I haven't invited this person, but the reason why I want to invite this person is because they checked on me. We had a little bit of a fallout, right? And some of the OGs might know who I'm talking about. So I'm going to throw this little hint at y'all, right? We had a little bit of a fallout a few years ago. Some of you might know what happened, might not know what happened. But me and this person had a fallout. And then when I got sick, this person checked on me every day. When they found out I got sick, they checked on me every single day. How can I have any animosity or feel any type of way about that person after the fact? I can't. So I got to invite this person onto the show. I haven't invited them yet, but I'm like, yo, I got to invite them to the show because they checked on me every single day. And I asked them, yo, I wasn't expecting this, bro. And their response was, just because we don't see eye to eye doesn't mean we can't be human. Just because we don't see eye to eye does not mean we can't be human. I'll leave y'all with that. You guess who that person is. Okay? And with that said, family, y'all be blessed. I know this was an impromptu live stream. This is how the DFAM Roundtable live streams are going to be. Okay? They're going to be random. It could be on a Saturday. It could be on a Wednesday. It could be on a Sunday. It ain't scheduled like the Breakfast with the UDM show. No. It could be random, and it's gonna be random. It's just gonna go live. You ain't gonna know when it's gonna happen. So I want to thank y'all for just joining in this impromptu live stream, DFAM Roundtable. It has been revived. Okay, we brought it back to life. All right. So with that said, family, y'all be safe on the road, and we'll see y'all in the next episode. All right. Be easy, y'all. Deuces.